Okay, so today I wanted to show off Nightmare Diffusion here. I think it's a very good model. I do like a lot of the things that it brings up. If you take a look, let's take a look at this. See, I like this one a lot. I like the colors in it. I like the way it just stands there. I like this one a lot. Look at this with the priest, or what it looks like to me. Oh, that one looks really good too. So today, if you play around with a bunch of models, if you play around with the different, a bunch of LoRa's, a bunch of textual inversions, you can get some really good images out of this. If you don't put any models, if you don't put any LoRa's, or if you don't put any textual inversions, you can still get a lot of good models out of this. So I wanted to show you today. This is so what I did here was I just went and took my old prompt, with the witch, and this is what it made. I did forget to put the trigger the first time, and it still made me a really good picture. I really liked this one. It did try to bring in some kind of text. You could always put your own text right there. I really liked this witch. This is with the trigger word. I remembered to put the trigger word and I went and put it in here. I really like this one. I really like the way the dress came out. If you look at this, I really like the way the dress came out. Nightmare Diffusion, very good model. Just remember to put the trigger word and play around with LoRa's, play around with your embeddings, and see what images you can get out. Try using it without them, and then try using them with them. Try play around with different prompts, play around with different LoRa's embeddings. You can get some really good images out of this. One moment, I'm going to set up the other picture, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's some of the other pictures that I got. I really like this one. Nice black and white theme. I was going for a plague doctor, but I ended up getting this. This came out really nice. So let's take a look at another one. Oh, that's the witch. Here's an old frog prompt that I had, and I tried using it. It completely different picture. This is a completely different picture, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. The other one was better to me for different reasons, but this one did come out really nice. I like the clouds. I like how it's all dark. I like this one. This one was another different version of the prompt with different LoRa's, and it came out really good. Let's take a look. Here's an old samurai that I did, and I threw in the Nightmare Diffusion. It came out really good. Oh, hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Okay, look at this. Look at that. I like those hands right there. Could easily be fixed up in painting. I do like how they're kind of broken up. Let's take a look. I really like this picture right here. For this one, it was a whole fresh prompt. I just put woman in the river, and it came up with this. I like this. I like how her little cloak comes down here. I like the features on the roof right here. This dude right here is just chilling, looking at a mirror for some reason. He's tied there. I guess he's not very trustworthy. Might get away from his mother or something. So let's take a look at this. This one was really good. This one came out with a woman actually in the river. Has her little arm right there. Oh, look, see, this one came out really good. And I think all of these were the same prompt as woman by the river. And it was just very simple. I didn't use any models. I didn't use any LoRa's or anything on it. I just did that with just the prompt, as far as I remember. I can check it again, but no, as far as I remember, no, I didn't. So now I want to show you how to use, like, if you got one of these pictures and you wanted to look at them, what would you do if you wanted to make something for Displate and you wanted it to have to look as close as possible as this? You could always crop the image and try and make it look for Displate, upscale it and everything. But if you wanted to go, because it will change the pictures. If it's not the right aspect ratio, it is going to change the picture most of the time. But here on Stable Diffusion, you're going to go to where it says PING info. You're going to come and grab a LoRa. Let's go with, let's take a look. One moment, I'll be right back. I'm going to get the picture and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so you find your picture, you go into PNG info right here, you throw it into here, and it'll bring up all your parameters, everything you need. Then from here, you have the option of sending it to text to image. You have it to send it to send it image to image, in painting, or extras. I usually throw it to text to image so I can generate another prompt, and I high res it. Olivia, some other people, they like to send it to image. It's completely up to you. So after doing that, I'll throw it in here, and now I started the recording, and then I finished it, so it's already recording. You can see that you have all your prompt right here. I mean, it's already rendering. So you can see I have my negative here, and then I put the high res fix on. Denoising straight I put to 30 or to 3, and then what did I do? I brought it up to 4, and now I'm just high resing it. So I found this guy's website here. His name is Chris Spiegl. He does work on cameras, on photography, and he has a website that he showed that he said in one of his videos, and it was for aspect ratio. So you're gonna want to go. You grab the aspect ratio for, say, Displate. Okay, Displate is 2900 by 4060. Pinterest is, what is Pinterest? This is, I think this is Zazzle. Yeah, this is Zazzle. Zazzle is 28 by 1440, and then Pinterest is 10,000 by 1500. So you grab whatever aspect ratio or whatever you're trying to make, and you go and you put it right here. So I have it for Displate 2900 by 4060, and then you type in 512 at the lowest if you're using a 1.5 model, and that'll bring up, and then right there it'll automatically tell you what the other aspect ratio is. So that's what I do to calculate like what aspect ratio I want to make my image for, so it comes out at the correct aspect ratio. So then I'll come over here, I'll put 512 by 717, and then I'll hit generate. Now this has been going on already, but that's because, like I said, I was recording it, and then I noticed that I made another mistake, so I just decided to record it again. But I didn't want to stop the render because it's only going to render it once, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to high res it up to the Displate ratio. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so you can tell right now how, well, right now you can't, but if you take a look, like this is the image that I threw in there for it to recreate, and then this is the image that it made me. So you can tell it's greatly different. And I wouldn't high res this or scale it up without outpainting. I would like to get like the boots, maybe some ground. Yeah, I would definitely like to get some ground, and I would like to get that top hat. So I would outpaint up, and I would outpaint down, and I would outpaint to the side. All probably about this difference right here was just 51. All I did was take 51 off the top. So what I would probably do is add maybe 100 on top so I can get a good hat, 100 on the bottom, see if I can get some good flooring, and then 100 and 100. And if that didn't work, I would outpaint all of it 100 and 100 again, just so I can keep the correct aspect ratio. But that is how different it can come out. If I was gonna do it personally, I wouldn't use the same seed, and I would just generate more pictures. Let me get rid of this. I would generate. I wouldn't keep the seed, and I would just generate more pictures and see what else I got in this little kind of aesthetic, and see if I could get something else that would go for Displate, Pinterest, whatever else you were generating for. Now I've gotten it up here. It's 2048 by 2068. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to extras right here, and I'm going to put this to 4K ultra sharp. I'm gonna scale it by 2. Let's see what it gives us at 2, and I will be back when it's done generating. Okay, so I have an issue. Usually I would scale it up by 2 to get it to a certain point, and then I would bring it up to whatever aspect ratio I was doing, the 2900 by 4060, or whatever it was I was doing, or I would scale it up and then put it in there. But Stable Diffusion with Automatic 11 with all the changes and everything going on, the Scale to button only goes to 2048 by 2048 now. It used to go. I used to be able to easily do this all the way up to the aspect ratio for Displate. Now it won't let me. So what I had to do was I ended up playing around with it and checking like what resolution it kept bringing me to, until I got it to as close as possible to. I think it ended up at this right here, ended up at 2969 by 4152, and I finally got it to this close. Then you could take it into, say, Krita, you could take it into GIMP, you could take it into Affinity Photo, whatever program you use, and you can just shrink it down a little bit, maybe bring it up a little bit. This would be shrinking down, but that's pretty. I'm pretty sad about that, because that used to be my go-to. I would just upscale it till it got to a little, just a little bit under, and then I would scale it to the 2048 by 48. And I went and I played around with the 4K Ultra Sharp, the Nearest. I tried playing around with these. No, I just used those two, just to see if maybe by some chance that was stopping the Scale to button. I knocked off the crop to fit right here. Nothing was letting me. Every time I try it, it just brings it back down to 2048. So maybe now they're unless you use the scale by, you're not going to get above 2048. So go by the scale by. After a while, like next time I want to do something for Displate, I'll know when I bring it into here, only upscale it to 1.45. And then this is the image that I got. I like it. It's pretty much the same image. It is a lot more rezzed, but I would fix this a lot. Like the face, I would fix. Another thing is, I know a lot of people like to upscale it to its max and then do the in painting on it. I don't, because Krita only goes up to in painting for a certain point. After a certain point, for me, unless if anybody knows how to change it in Krita, after a certain point, it won't really high res that big of a scale of images. So usually if I'm making something for Displate, or if I'm making something for Zazzle, Redbubble, whatever, I won't upscale it to its max. I'll upscale it to a certain point. I'll take it into Krita. I'll play around with it, mess around with it, and then I'll throw it into to image, and then I'll send it to extras, and then I'll upscale it to its max. So that's a little tip. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.